Okay, so I'm going to try to do all this in one take. This video is for people specifically new to game dev, or maybe you're not new. Maybe you just clicked the video. It's for you too, I guess. But yeah, these tips are geared towards the newbies, or whether you just learned the program, or you're about to learn the program, or you're about to make your first game. I just want to give you some pieces of advice for starting out. Tip number one. So the biggest piece of advice you're going to get when you're new to game dev is people are going to tell you to start small. And in the game dev community, for whatever reason, there are people who just love to come and find the newbies and blow up their dreams and just burst their bubbles. It just, it makes my heart a little warm. You get bitter over the years when you're in game dev, and you just want to find those people that are making their dream game and just, tell them they can't do it. But I would say, I don't think starting small is really a great piece of advice for people who are new to game dev. I mean, I've learned the most by biting off more than I can chew and seeing how far that I can get. Now, granted, I haven't finished a lot of my projects, so maybe I'm not the best person to take advice from when it comes to finishing what you start. But I would say if you're a newbie with game design, you could start small, make something like Tetris. If you can make Tetris, you've got a lot of programming mechanics that you need to know down that's going to help you in future projects. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing a big project. If someone discouraged you out of doing that, go for it. And don't give up on your dreams. Now, that being said, realistically, I'm going to be honest with you, you're probably not going to finish that sucker. But you're going to learn so much that you're going to learn what to do. You're going to learn what not to do. And what I've noticed is the people who do the big projects when they're new to game design, they'll get like 30, 40% into that sucker, and then they'll scrap it because they realized their code sucks, and they found about 20 better ways of doing the things that they were doing, and so they just want to start over. So they scrap the thing, they start over, and then they get about 20% into that just to realize they found even more better ways of doing things, so they scrap that freaking piece of crap to start over, and by that time, they already got another idea in their head for another game. That's just normally how it goes, but it's about having fun. Rather than playing a video game and having fun there, you're making a video game and having fun over here, and you're developing skills that might be able to make you some money that you might be able to live off of one day. Maybe, I don't know, with AI, who knows what's going to happen to game dev. But I would say, it is probably, if you want to do it the right way, start small and finish what you start, get some discipline, but I would say go for a big project. I've tried 3 times to make an MMORPG. I knew in the back of my mind it was ridiculous. I knew in the back of my mind there's no way I'm going to finish this thing, or I'm going to hit a roadblock, and I did, and I never finished them. I never released them. Could I? Yeah, I could. If I really put my mind to it, I could. If I didn't have ADHD, I could. Will I? No, I didn't. But did I learn a ton that can translate now into other projects? Oh my gosh, yes. I learned so much. I learned from the bigger projects. But, the smaller projects, those are going to be just as good. So I guess this tip doesn't make any sense. Go big, go small. Don't worry about it. Okay, here's the tip. Just find a project that you're passionate about and go for it and stick in there as long as you can. If you can finish it, that would be fantastic, which brings me to actually point number 2, which I did write some of these things down, is to build a portfolio, okay? So you need, if you're new to game design and game dev, it would be good to finish some of your projects. What I've done over the years is I do these big projects, but I will, I'll create these systems, I'll create mechanics, and I'll put those in a project of their own. So, for example, I made a life simulation game. Well, in that life simulation game, I made a a room detector, kind of like RimWorld, where you could box something off in the game world and it would detect that as its own room. So like Prison Architect, RimWorld style. What I did is I took the code, I took the mechanics, I put that in another project, and I put that on Game Maker Marketplace, which, obviously I'm making a few bucks off of that over time, but whenever I need that code again, I can just pull that right out of Game Maker Marketplace, and that's great because I can just reuse my code. So, for bigger projects, smaller projects, I take the different mechanics that I've programmed and made, and I put those into their own projects. They're not a game per se, but they are a feature. They are a mechanic. Or again, you could do it with gameplay mechanics. You could finish games, but what I'm saying is build a portfolio. So, you want to put this stuff somewhere. I use Game Maker Marketplace for all my stuff, but really, it'd do you good to make a website. And if you're going to make a website, I highly recommend game devs use neocities.org. It's kind of like a parody of GeoCities back in the day. It's pretty niche, but it has a thriving community. And just by you having a neocities.org website, you're going to get traffic. People are going to find your stuff on there, just like they would a social media. But actually, I think NeoCities is better for game devs because they have a directory. People are always browsing the sites on there. Everything about NeoCities is like retro websites. It's a whole community. It's a whole niche community. If you don't know what neocities.org is, go check it out after the video. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that. But either way, make a website, create a portfolio, and you're going to really appreciate that later on, looking and seeing how you're progressing as a game dev. At the very least, put it all in a flash drive or an external hard drive or a Google Doc or somewhere. Put it somewhere so that you can have an archive of all your projects. But it'd be better to have it in public. And which brings us to number 3, make a community. Really, I don't care if you just started game dev today, make a Twitter or X or whatever the crap it's called now, and tell everybody, your first tweet, hey, I'm a new game dev. Follow Wizardy. Don't tweet that, but you follow Wizardy. X.com/Wizardy. Follow me, tag me, I'll retweet you to my 11 followers because I deleted Twitter and now I'm coming back and everything. Make a community of people. Twitter is really good for game dev. If you're into the politics, just ignore that. Make a Twitter just for your game dev. Don't get into politics because then you're just going to be divisive. You're going to turn people off from your games. That's silly to use games as a medium to air out your political ideas. That's like farting in people's face. They're not interested. They don't care. That's not why they come to you anyway. It's like a celebrity who gives their political opinions. No one cares. Use Twitter if you're a game dev. You're going to get a following. I had like close to 1,000 followers at one point just by posting videos of how my projects were going, giving updates, posting a lot of screenshots of what I'm up to, what I'm making. People love that kind of stuff. And if you're new to game dev and game design, start now. Because in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're going to have built something. So you need to start, make a foundation. Twitter's good. Discord, make a Discord channel, or Telegram. That's another thing now that people are doing. Discord would be good. If you don't use Discord, you're getting into game dev. Download it, use it. You'll really appreciate it. Join some Discord game dev communities on there. Make some friends, but make your own Discord channel and bring people in. Again, even if you're a new game dev, people love that kind of stuff. There are people who are not game devs that want to follow someone who's doing something that they wish they would be doing, So it's really interesting to follow someone who's new. So Twitter, Discord, YouTube, start a YouTube channel. Someone says no one's going to watch my videos. You're going to watch your videos. Your mom will watch your. It doesn't matter. You don't know. And again, it's all about building something. You want to. Okay, this is why. Okay, let me tell you why this is important. Because when you do release a game, it's nice to release a game for somebody out there who's going to enjoy it. And don't get discouraged if you don't have thousands, you don't have hundreds, or whatever. Shoot for like 10 people downloading your game, or 15 or 20. Start somewhere And it's like a snowball. You'll build momentum over time. You will build momentum if you're consistent. Post video updates, like on my channel. I didn't get tens of thousands of views, but I got views. I built a community. If you look at my comment to view ratio, some people get 10,000 views, like no comments. I get a ton of comments in a short amount of views. Why? I have a community. And I have a community of people who are interested in the game design stuff that I do for whatever reason. If I can get a following, you can too. So YouTube, start somewhere and just make it like every Saturday. There's a thing on Twitter that trends with game design called Screenshot Saturday. Join that. Post a screenshot of your project, hashtag Screenshot Saturday. And here's the other thing too about building a community. Social media like X, YouTube, Twitter, all that crap, even NeoCities, which would be another good place to build a community. Put a guest book. Do you know what a guest book is? Are you too young for that? Who remembers a guest book? Leave a comment in the thing, because people on NeoCities use guest books. Okay, but here's the thing about social media is it's social. So if you want to build a community or build a following, again, I'd say on Twitter. I recommend Twitter or X or whatever the crap it's called now. Engage with other game devs. Engage with other people who are interested in game dev and game design. Engage with them. Comment at people. The golden rule is what? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So do that. You'd be shocked. You'll get more of a following being genuinely interested in other people than trying to get people genuinely interested in you. I'm going to say that again. You will build more of a following being genuinely interested in other people than getting other people genuinely interested in you. So like when I was super active on Twitter, which again, I have a whole new account now, so I'm rebuilding. But when I was really active on Twitter, when I was just posting on my feed, I was getting no likes, no engagements, no comments, no views on my tweets. When I started to go out into the Twitterverse and go into the game design hashtags and dig in, I started to comment. I started following people. I started liking things. I would choose people that I really liked what they were doing and always engage with their stuff. You know what they started to do in return? They started to retweet my tweets, which when they did that exposed what I was posting to their following, and their following came over and started liking my stuff too. So finding people making similar things that you're making, engaging with them in a genuine way, like you're interested in them, and trust me, they'll reciprocate, especially if like you're a cool person, you're a nice person, and you're not being selfish and just trying to get people interested in you, being interested in other people. And then when you have like a community of people that are engaging your content, like their tweets, comment. I mean, they're taking time out of their day to comment and encourage you. So like reply to them, say thank you, go look at their stuff, be interested in what they're doing too. And then you'll build a tight-knit community. You'll build loyalty by doing that. So number one is start a project that you're passionate about, you're interested. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. Just start somewhere, and then see how far you get. Preferably finish it, but build a portfolio. So a place where you're putting content out there, game design content, small games, mechanics, whatever. Build a portfolio, though. And then number 3, build a community. YouTube, Discord, Twitter, NeoCities, all that. Okay, and then number 4, learn constantly. So always be learning. So, I've been in game design, game dev since I was 8, learning how to make board games. Started a program when I was 8, learned GameMaker when I was 15 in 2005. Yeah, and you know what? I'm still learning, and you don't want to get arrogant and think you've ever arrived because you know how to make a few scripts. Always learn. Don't be afraid to ask questions. When I was really into game design, I would take like every day and I'd watch another video on YouTube of like a tutorial, even though I'm doing tutorials. So always be learning and don't get stuck in a box like you're only going to use GameMaker, only going to use Unity or whatever system out there. Branch into things as you have a passion, as you have an interest. Always be learning. And And last thing I'm going to say, and these are very basic tips, right? Hopefully you got some value out of this. But lastly is learn to get feedback from your community. Find a good friend. This is what's helped me a lot. You find a good friend or friends, send your content over to them, your games, and ask them for honest feedback. And then don't get offended if they don't like it, okay? So here's a life lesson. We have a tendency as people to see value in something we spent a lot of time on, okay? So let's say you spent like 15 hours making this like small game, but the issue is, and like you're so proud of it because you finished it, you really like how the animation of that main character is, just the frames went perfectly. You really like the particle effects. You really like how the sword makes contact with, the enemies. You're really proud of it. Then you send it to a friend or two, and they don't really like it because, it's not fun. It's just not a fun game. So don't get super offended about that. Or, they just don't appreciate whatever. Or they're just jealous of whatever. I've seen a lot of game devs go wrong by having, not being able to accept feedback or criticism. So your game is not good just because you spent 2,000 hours making it, or because you worked 5 years, 3 years, 8 years. This one guy spent 15 years on an indie game, and I played it, and it was trash, man. It wasn't fun. But to him, he was, super proud of it, but, it wasn't going anywhere because it just wasn't fun. So, you got to provide value for the players, and just because you spent a lot of time on it doesn't mean other people are going to appreciate it, doesn't mean they're going to like it, doesn't mean it's going to be fun. So focus on gameplay mechanics. Gameplay is king. You don't have to have the best graphics. You just have to have a fun game. You just have to have fun gameplay. So, yeah, focus on that. Take feedback. Find people who will tell you the truth, and don't get offended when they tell you the truth. That's it. Hope you liked this video. If you liked the video, leaving a like. I would like if you left a like, because then I would know that you liked it. And if you like it, and I know that you like it, then I can make more videos like this. If this was okay. I'm trying to post more on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't, because I'm gonna try to post here more. That's it. Follow me on Twitter, I guess. x.com/Wizardy. And that's all I got for you. Comment. Here we go. This is what you could do. Comment your Twitter in the description of this video. Let's support each other. So in the description, the comment section of this video, put your Twitter or your NeoCities or wherever we can find your games or your content, especially if you're new, but even if you're not new, just post it, and we'll follow each other. So then post yours, but then find what other people posted, go and start following them on all the different platforms, and let's create a little community. So I think there's a Discord in the description of this video. You can join that too. Hope you have a wonderful night or day or whatever it is for you. Just have a good one.